Good evening. I was told that the subject I have to talk it's about tzniut. Okay. We have Yetzer Hara. Sometimes when we do some chas v'shalom, something not good, we enjoy it. And we understand people, an example, eat something not kosher, they like it very much, they love it, so they do it. Tzniut, there is no explanation why. It's Yetzer, it's a very strong Yetzer Hara not to have tzniut. And we have to fight. It's not simple. And the reward about that, it's also very big. Chachamim said about a woman that all of her sons became Kohanim Gdolim. Kohanim Gdolim. Why? She said, Me'olam לא ראו קורות ביתי שערות ראשי. The walls of my house never saw my hair. It means even when she had to brush her hair or to do something, so she used to be covered. So the halacha is not like that. This is humrah, this is extra. But about that, to have extra, it's better. It's humrah, it's good to have extra. I want to share with you the story of my mother. It's good. You have to think about that. My mother grew up in Halab. When she was 5, her mother passed away. Erev Pesach, she woke up in the morning, she prepared all the seder, she finished at noon, and suddenly she said she doesn't feel good. She passed away, she was buried before the seder. My mother remembers that seder. And she was a little girl, 5 years old, and she remembered the terrible seder they had that night. And she told me many times she didn't have memories from her mother because she was only 5. But what she remembers very clear, that in the neighborhood in Halab, no one woman used to cover the hair. In Halab, that was a big problem. Most of the women, they didn't cover their head. They didn't know about that. They didn't understand that. And even wives of rabbis, they didn't cover their head. Here also, when the rabbis came from Halab, their wives didn't. I saw in Mexico, in Argentina, the wives of the rabbis, the old generation, no. Now, Baruch Hashem, of course, everyone. But before, it was no. And it was difficult for a woman to be not like everybody. Everybody, and especially, you know, at that time, no one was wearing wig, only to cover with a hat. So my mother said she remembers about her mother one thing, that he looked different from all of them because she had a hat. And my mother told me when I was a little child that she thinks that zechut, that my grandmother covered her head. My mother said the zechut will be that many of her grandchildren will be Talmidei Chachamim. Like that woman got the zechut Kohanim Gedolim, now we don't have Kohanim Gedolim, but Talmidei Chachamim. My mother, as I said, when she was 5, she lost her mother. Her father was a rabbi, Talmid Chacham, Tzaddik, Mekubal. By the way, today was his Yortzeit. I said Kaddish about him today because no one of his children is still alive. I am the grandson, he was my sandak, so I said Kaddish for him. I don't think one of the grandchildren thought about that it's today. He passed away 44 years ago. He was Mekubal. At the beginning, he was in Halab. He came to Jerusalem. He was learning Kabbalah with Rav Sharabi, Zecher Tzadik V'Kadosh Livracha. I remember many people used to go to him to ask for Kamiyah, for Beracha, big Tzadik. But after his first wife passed away, it broke his heart, and he couldn't take care of my mother. And the two sisters my mother had got married. They were 16, 17, they got married. And one of them moved to Damascus with her husband. The husband was from Damascus, he was a shochet in Damascus. She left. So my mother was alone. Her father sent her to school. In Halab, there was not religious school, not at all. No Ateret, no Magen David, nothing. Zero. What kind of school there was in Halab? Alliance. You know what is Alliance? Alliance is the worst. The worst. Even before Pesach, they didn't teach them about Pesach, about Shabbat. Nothing. Secular, not religious completely. They taught them Arabic good and French. My mother used to write and to read Arabic and French and Baruch Hashem Hebrew also. Because of her father, she grew up at the house of Talmid Chacham. So my mother was learning at that school until she was 12. When she was 12, her father saw, he understood, he cannot continue, sent her to that school. So he took her and he moved to Jerusalem. He moved to Jerusalem. He opened, at the beginning, he opened a small school. And she grew up, no Bet Yaakov, no, of course, the education she got, it's not like girls getting today. You cannot compare the education she had not to any one of the schools in your community. Less, it was much less. And I have pictures of my mother. She used to dress very short sleeves and skirt not so long. And that's it. And she had friends. And she used to go to cinema. And happy girl. Orphan, but happy girl. And at that time, in Eretz Israel, people were poor, very poor. It was before the state of Israel started. The English people were in Eretz Israel. It was bad. And her friends told her, don't worry, you are so beautiful girl, every rich boy will want you, so you will have good future, you will get married with rich guy, and you will be like a princess. So she was happy very much. And one day, someone came to my grandfather and told her, there is a guy in Yeshivat Rabbi Yossef, and he is very, very special. He is genius that all the rabbis say that many years they don't remember like that. Different level from all the students. But, you know, Syrian, they're like a Syrian boy. He's not Syrian also, he is Iraqi. Iraqi and a simple family, very simple family. My grandfather from my father's side he had a small grocery. He was very poor man. So poor, he was a little short. And learning Torah, big Talmid Chacham, that's it. So my grandfather asked my mother. She heard Talmid Chacham, maybe it's a good idea. He was religious, of course, religious. Not so religious, but religious. So she said, okay, I will have a date with him. So the first date, they were walking, and my mother was a happy girl, and she was talking. My father looked at her, and he was smiling, and he said, yes, 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 and she was talking, and suddenly she said, what do you think about what I said? He was very embarrassed. He said, forgive me, I'm sorry, I was thinking about something. I didn't pay attention to what you said. First date, she said goodbye, and she left. She left. She went to her father and she told him, look, that's what happened. No way. That's it. Shabbat, my mother prepared the chamin, and she was eating along with her father. And in the end, she used to sing with him. And she was singing, she told me she remembers, she was singing, Yom HaShabbat En Kamohu, V'racho Elokim V'ykadesheu. And suddenly the door opened, and she saw my father. Tzniut is tzniut. She knew it's not nice for a girl to sing next to a stranger. So she stopped immediately. She stopped, he entered, and he sat and he started to talk with grandfather. My grandfather, he started to talk to him, Devar Torah. And it was very interesting conversation. Immediately he loved him very much. He saw that he's genius, big Talmid Chacham. Then my father apologized. He told her, look, listen to me. I promise you, if we continue, it will never happen again. If we get married, always I will be listening to you. Promise. And he kept that promise all the years. Baruch Hashem. So after that, my mother forgave him and they went out. After 1 hour, they were walking in the street. He told her, I'm sorry, I have a shiur. I have to give shiur. If you want, it's up to you. Or you go back home. If you want me to take you back home, so come to the women's section, Ezrat Nashim. After the shiur, I will take you back home. She said, yes, I want to hear the shiur. She came, and he spoke beautiful. She enjoyed very much. Then, okay, they continued. He said, I'm sorry, I will take you now home. Oh, I have another shiur. She said, another shiur. So he took her that Shabbat 3 shiurim. A few weeks later, my father made the decision that he wants to marry my mother. As you know, now how the boys offer the girl, I want to marry you. Sketch, many crazy things. But my father, he spoke directly, Dugri. He said, look, I want to tell you the truth. I want to get married with you. But I need a wife that to understand that I want to be big Talmid Chacham. I need a wife that will understand that she cannot tell me, go to the grocery, go to buy something, help me to clean the house, help me with a baby. I need a wife that will do anything she can, that I will be able to study Torah. Torah. Will you marry me? She said yes. Yes. He said, okay, but also I have to tell you, we are getting engaged. From now on, no short sleeves, only long. Dress, skirt, should be long. Socks. And after we will get married, you have to cover your head. Do you agree for that? She immediately said yes. Until now, I cannot understand how come the way she was dressed before, and the way she was educated, and her friends, to leave all of it because she loved my father, she admired him, she knew I will have big mission now to be with the biggest Talmid Chacham. She understood it. And he told her, of course, no cinema anymore. She said yes, everything she accepted immediately. Then it was the wedding. I have the invitation. I saw the invitation. It was at one school. And because the English were in Israel, 4 o'clock, nobody was allowed to go in the street. Otzer. It means everybody had to be home. And if someone went outside, or they shot him, or they took him to prison. So the wedding was 2 o'clock. In the afternoon, people came, very few people. And everyone got a candy. And Mazal Tov, and they went home. That was the wedding. Day before the wedding, they went together to some photo, made a picture. Even in the chuppah, they didn't have money to make photos. We don't have any picture from the chuppah of my mother. Just one picture, my father and my mother went to a place, somebody made some pictures, and that's it. After that, they were very poor. My aunt was living in Damascus. She was not in the wedding. She came a few months later, she came to Israel. When she saw my mother, she cried. And on the face of my father, she told her father, my grandfather, how dare you do that to my sister? My sister is an orphan. You allowed her to get married with this guy? What kind of food he will give her? Books? He will eat books? What? And my mother didn't say any word. And my mother said that when they had to eat, they didn't have chairs. They used to take the beds next to the table, to sit on the bed and to eat. And they were starving, very poor. So 3 years later, they had already 2 kids, girl and then boy. And the chief rabbi of Eretz Israel, the HaRishon LeZion, Rabbi Uziel, he took the opportunity. He told my father, you have no parnasa, you have nothing, so go to Egypt. Go to Egypt, you will be the head of the Bedin in Egypt. So my father, you know Rabbi Shweki, his uncle was big Talmid Chacham in Cairo. And he came to Jerusalem to look for a rabbi. And he was behind that, and he took my father to Egypt. My mother told me they had good salary in Egypt, but except that, nothing. Terrible. They suffered, especially from the Arabs, Egyptians. They, all the time, they saw my father came from Eretz Israel. It was a time that the state of Israel was established. So they thought my father is an Israeli spy. After 3 years, they sent a letter to my father, you have 60 days to leave the country. And they came back to Jerusalem. Again, they became poor until after 5-6 years, my father became Dayan. Dayan is a very high salary, good, and I was born at that time, Baruch Hashem. And Baruch Hashem, my mother used to say that I brought them good luck of parnasa, at least. Yeah, but I want to tell you, my mother suffered a lot. I was the number 9 from the children. When at school, when they told me, bring your parents because I behave very good, so I never told my father, he never knew, my father, what is happening with me, only my mother. She went to the school, she took care of us, she did everything to us. Only when I became, my father used to test me every Shabbat, yeah, but the connection I had with my mother. And she was talking to me all the time about the tzniut, about Yirat Shamayim, about that I have to look at my father, I have to be Talmid Chacham, to be good, to learn Torah. And she gave me many things if I was learning. It was great. But especially I remember that tzniut, the way she was dressed, the way she was talking to people, and she was the leader of the house. And then my father became very famous and became chief rabbi, and she was like a queen. Everywhere she went, everybody wanted to be with her, to talk, to take her for shopping, for many things. When she came here, she was surrounded with many friends, and she was talking to them Arabic. She didn't know English and French, they didn't know Hebrew, they didn't know, but Arabic. At that time, every woman spoke Arabic, and she came. In the end, she got the reward. She got the reward because the beginning was so difficult. And my mother used to describe to me how they suffered, how they didn't have bread to eat. And she didn't want to talk about that. They didn't have furniture in the house. They had small bedroom, and the kitchen was outside, and the restroom was on the other side. A very small shower. She suffered. She suffered, and she had 11 children. And I have many stories about how was when I was young and how she behaved to us, what education she gave to us. I remember every Friday night, she prepared the best food, Syrian food. And every Friday night, she used to tell my father to sing for her. And there were some special songs she loved, and my father used to sing to her. He had a beautiful voice. My father was the best chazan. But Friday night, he used to sing to her. And every night, before they went to sleep, he was listening to her. He promised her to listen to her. Every night, he asked her what happened to this. He knew. He told him, this child was like this, like that. She reported to him, and he used to question her. He gave her advices. Tomorrow, do this, do that. They were talking. He was listening to her. This is very important. To listen. To listen. Woman should listen to her husband. The husband, even they don't agree, but to listen. To listen, it's very important. So, I'm telling you, my mother got the zechut to have children, Talmidei Chachamim. And many grandchildren, Talmidei Chachamim. She was surrounded with big family, many grandchildren. She loved all of them. She was like a queen. She passed away 69, young, and but she had good life with a family, and all the time she was telling us, it's because of the tzeniut. Because of the tzeniut. I covered my head. By the way, her sisters came. At the beginning, they didn't cover their head. They came to my mother's house. I remember how my father was talking to them, very nice, telling them stories. And they, step by step, also they covered their head, and they got also zechut to have children, Talmidei Chachamim, and grandchildren, Talmidei Chachamim. And this is a fact. If we do good things, if we worship Hashem, if we have tzeniut, we will have good children. If chas v'shalom not, you have excuses, I couldn't, it was like this, like that. The bottom line, what you did, what you prepared, you will eat. Yeah, if you prepared good food, you will eat good food. If you prepared good education to your children, you gave them a good example, you showed them what is the meaning of midot, tzniut, they will be like that. Children used to copy the parents. Even if we don't see it at the beginning, then later they will follow the parents. Always it's in the end, most of the cases, in the end, it's like that. So I want to bless you all. Everyone here that didn't get married yet, יהי רצון שתזכו כולכם לחופה, ושתזכו כולכם לבתים נאמנים בישראל, זרע קודש של קיימא, בנים, בנות, לעבודתו יתברך. ייתן לכם הקדוש ברוך הוא נחת, שמחה, שלווה, בריאות טובה, אריכות ימים ושנים, אמן כן יהי רצון.